If you'd like to support the channel, then be sure to check out our Patreon. Link is in the description. The mysterious power of the hyperbolic time chamber is one that was used for good throughout the Dragon Ball story, but the distrust from his friends made them betray and trap Goku in the time chamber. Now the story continues, as a brand new enemy, Granolah, appears in front of our heroes. Let's talk about it. But first, let's see whose student is the best. Right, let's do this, Vegeta! Goku trains alongside Vegeta at Mount Paozu a few months following the defeat of Moro. He thinks back to his time in the time chamber and how he used the newly found trust of his friends to conjure up a plan. Vegeta realized that there was something bothering Goku, and he speaks up, asking why he was fighting so sloppily. Sorry, Vegeta. I've been thinking about the fight against Moro in the time chamber. I wish I'd have been there to see it myself, but I do wonder, how did you survive a whole year while being in there? I was thinking about that too. The ultimate sign of trust from my part was letting Majin Buu help out during the fight. I let him absorb me, and he switched places with me for the majority of the battle. By being one with Majin Buu, I didn't eat any food nor water. You will let yourself be absorbed. Fitting for a low-class Saiyan. Though that plan is very clever, I'll give you that. Chi-Chi calls out for Goku from inside the house. She was holding the newly born son, Gohan. When he was born, he blew everyone away by having an incredible key presence, even if he wasn't strong. Broly and Zamasu had been spending a lot of time alongside Vegeta and Goku, who served as their masters. Though Zamasu insisted on still wanting to kill Goku, he could never act on it. They both knew it. He even started creating new life in the forms of plants and vegetables in his own garden near the Son family home. Goku had successfully saved Zamasu from a horrible fate. Meanwhile, Vegeta was atoning for his father's sins by helping the boy his father cast away long ago. He was an incredible being and could even rival Goku and Vegeta. They wondered if perhaps he could unlock a new stage of power as well, but he had a lot to learn in order to control his power first. Goku floated down to welcome Broly and Zamasu, putting Gohan on his shoulders. But something strange occurred. He quickly spun his head and put Gohan down. As he played with his tail, two beings appeared, explaining that a man named Granolah had all but killed their entire race, and they needed help from Goku and the others. Vegeta wasn't sure about this, but Goku thought it would be a great test for Zamasu and Broly. The team agreed, with Goku kissing Gohan and Chi-Chi goodbye. Unbeknownst to Goku, the beings were named the Heaters, and they were planetary traders who took a large portion of Frieza's empire. They were setting up Goku and Vegeta to die, as they wanted to get rid of their biggest threats while they continued to spread through the universe. Granolah was a man whose planet had been ravaged by the Saiyans long ago. He used the Dragon Balls on his planet to wish to be the strongest being in the universe. Goku meditated on the way to planet Cereal, while Vegeta, Broly, and Zamasu trained. Once they arrived, they were quickly challenged by Granolah. Goku realized that his ki didn't have any negative presence and wondered how he got so powerful. Zamasu and Broly were the ones to step out to the plate first, with Granolah annoyed at having to battle someone that wasn't a Saiyan. He tried to take care of Zamasu quickly, but he wasn't ready for the power that Broly had. Broly was slowly controlling his unbelievable power, but that same power only reinforced Granolah's beliefs that Saiyans were ruthless monsters. The battle was intense, and Broly stood little chance. Vegeta believes that Broly could have won if he had gone berserk, but that was far too dangerous. The Heaters continue to cheer for Granolah as he manages to use an illusion to distract Broly and pierce through his chest, defeating him. Zamasu reappeared behind him and locked him in a divine lasso as he stabbed him multiple times. It seemed to work at first, while Vegeta got Broly away from the battlefield, but Granolah smirked and expanded his aura, making Zamasu's Keyblades not only come off his body, but shoot right back onto Zamasu. He was severely hurt. Is that all you've got, Saiyans? A washed-up god and a monster who can't even go all out? Looks like we've underestimated this guy, Vegeta. You ready for this? Right. Vegeta and Goku screamed out. Using Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct, The two Saiyans high-fived each other, but Goku rushed in first, saying that he called dibs. Goku does well against Granolah, as it is not clear who's actually stronger. Goku can't believe it, but this is the first time in a while that someone was truly tougher than him. He only lost against Moro the first time because his energy got absorbed. This time, he just wasn't strong enough. Goku was kicked away, once again realizing that the raw power of Ultra Ego wasn't always what he needed. Ultra Instinct would be just as valuable. As if Vegeta was reading Goku's mind, he jumped into action as Ultra Instinct and continued to fight without saying a word. It looked like Vegeta was faring a little bit better because of how many attacks he could dodge, but attacks that did land hurt a lot more.
Hey kids, don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the video thus far. If you like this sort of content, want to see more, and support the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon. There, you can help support the channel through various tiers while getting some perks of your own. As a Patreon, you will be helping improve the videos, get them out faster, fund the awesome thumbnails, editing, and much more. Overall, this is the best way to ensure that I can keep providing you guys with awesome Dragon Ball content. Plus, you get some neat perks, like an extra discussion video every other week, early access to videos such as this one, and behind-the-scenes content. So be sure to go to patreon.com/SmugStick and consider supporting the channel. Thank you to all the current patrons for your support, and let's get back into the story.
And now back to our show.
Whis had previously taught Vegeta that Ultra Instinct is not meant to be a proper transformation, but rather a part of his base form, just like angels have, which then could potentially be used alongside Super Saiyan. Vegeta was having a hard time doing this, and Ultra Instinct did drain him a lot, though it seemed there was a point where he could snap into Super Saiyan Blue at the same time. He did this, avoided an attack, and punched Granolah back. This hurt the Cerealian a lot, but it took a lot more out of Vegeta, who was instantly kicked back onto Goku.
What the hell's going on, Vegeta? We should be able to beat him. After the battle against Moro, you told me that you learned to trust your friends. But we have never properly fought together, have we, Kakarot? I like fighting on my own. Well, this adversary may need both of our power to beat him. So I ask you this one time, trust my strength, just like you taught me, Jiren, and many others to do.
Alright Vegeta, let's go. Goku and Vegeta focused their ki. Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, two sides of the same coin. They rushed forward, showing Granolah the true power of Super Saiyan team-up. When Granolah attacked Vegeta, the prince dodged. This gave Goku a chance to attack Granolah. These sorts of combinations showed Broly and Zamasu just how it was done. Granolah's eyes were bulging out of his head as he began to shake.
No, I can't lose against you Saiyans. Not again. I will end this here.
Granolah pointed his finger up to Goku's chest, firing. It was too fast, even for him, but Vegeta stepped in the way, saving Goku. Smoke came out of Vegeta's palm as he stopped the blast with his bare hand. Goku was very impressed. But before the battle could continue, another being arrived from the sky. A Namekian stopped the fight, with Granolah identifying him as Monaito. He explains to Granolah that the fight must be stopped, as he recognized Goku as someone related to the man who saved them both long ago, Bardock. Goku's eyes widened. Bardock? The name, it sounded so familiar. Unlike the original story where Goku never wondered where he came from, the years he spent locked away in the hyperbolic time chamber gave him a lot of time to think. Once he began to lose his mind, he saw visions of himself in a pod and a Saiyan sending him away to a planet. He could hear the name Bardock being said. Monaito explained how Bardock saved Granolah from their true enemy, Gas, and the rest of the heaters. Granolah couldn't believe it, but above that, Goku was finally hearing something about his father. So, he was a hero? A Saiyan that gave up stuff for others? He likely had to learn that, as Saiyans were naturally ruthless. It seems like Granolah and the rest had made peace, but now the cat was out of the bag regarding the heaters. The sky turned dark as Elec wishes for Gas to be the strongest being in the universe. Goku chuckled under his breath. Come with the strongest under the universe? Really? How unoriginal. The other heaters introduce the newly powered up gas to the battlefield, and he begins to battle the heroes. All of them are fairly hurt, but willing to fight. Goku ponders for a moment if he could just use his destroyer energy to Hakai gas. Surely he has enough power to do it, but he thinks back to the battle against Moro. Just like back then, he wanted to enjoy the battle for as much as possible. Regardless of the fact that his life was in danger, he wanted to experience the thrills of battle more than anything else. Destroying his opponents would just be too easy. Even after all this time since leaving the time chamber, Goku still yearned for a good battle. He truly was a Saiyan, wasn't he? Goku's thoughts were cut short when he and his friends were blasted away by Gas's aura. He was growing tired of waiting. Granolah believes that he got them into this situation, so he steps up to the fight. Sadly, he can't stand a chance, and both Vegeta and Goku are hurt enough that they begin to lose as well. Goku's pursued through the planet, and he realizes that he needs some time to find a way to beat him. That's when Goku teleports to the first familiar presence he can find. In the middle of a desolated planet, with clothes spread around the ground, a single android stands in the middle. Cell. Goku teleported right in front of his old adversary, telling him to keep Gas distracted. Cell had no idea what was going on, but his power had significantly grown since their last match during the Tournament of Power. Gas teleported right behind Goku. Cell sensed Gas's ki and realized that his power was even larger than Goku's. If he could absorb his energy, then he would be unstoppable. Cell managed to distract Gas for a good amount of time, as he had been going through different planets absorbing people in order to match Goku and fight him eventually. Goku wonders out loud just how strong Cell could have possibly gotten.
You really are something else, Cell. Does that mean you can go golden like Frieza now? Or do you, grow hair? Wouldn't you like to know?
Stop ignoring me! Goku teleported back to Cereal, where he frantically asked the others if they had a plan. Monaito explained that the only person he's seen defeat Gas was the previously mentioned Bardock. Perhaps the scouter he left behind had some clues. The team gathered in and listened. The second Goku heard Bardock's voice, all those old visions became clear. Goku could clearly hear and even see his father saving him from an awful fate. A small smile formed on Goku's face. All the time he had spent in the time chamber, he thought he was all alone, but in fact, he had his father and mother in some way with him, just like his grandfather Gohan was. If his father could defeat Gas, then so could he. The scouter message retold the battle between Bardock and Gas. Vegeta then asked where Gas was, and Goku snapped, realizing that he had left him behind alone with Cell. Goku told Broly, Zamasu, Vegeta, and the rest to hang on as they teleported over to Cell once more. There, they watched Cell panting, blood dripping from his arm, a missing leg, and a broken wing.
Took you long enough. I don't know how long I can keep fighting him. You owe me a big one.
Our fight will come soon, don't worry. You can take a step back for now. Ready, Vegeta?
Let's do this, Kakarot.
Goku and Vegeta screamed at the top of their lungs, transforming into Ultra Ego Super Saiyan 4 and Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan Blue respectively. The intense battle began as Gas continued to attack by creating many weapons, but the two of them seemed to dodge and even use them against him. He was stronger than them, but the Saiyans continued to learn as they fought. The fight culminated in Vegeta firing a Big Bang attack that shot Gas right back down to the ground, where Goku awaited while charging a Kamehameha. Gas opened his eyes, realizing just how familiar this moment was, as he finally recognized who the Saiyan reminded him of. Behind him, Goku felt like there was another person supporting him. Without looking back, he knew who it was. Goku fired a Kamehameha as a Mirage of Bardock fired his own attack, the Spirit Cannon. This father-son attack was enough to blast away Gas and keep him shook. Gas was still very powerful. He was standing tall but shaking. He didn't have much left in him. Goku smiled and said, "Thanks, father." Vegeta, Granolah, and Goku slowly approached Gas. They couldn't let him go free. They discussed what to do. Perhaps the galactic prison? As they said this, Vegeta's eyes widened as Cell jumped behind Gas and pierced through him, absorbing him immediately.
Cell? I'm sorry, Goku, but I couldn't let all that power go to waste. It's, incredible. But you all took quite a beating. I want to fight you at your fullest when you've gotten even stronger. In the meantime, I will continue to scour the universe for more training partners.
Wait, Cell, I won't let you terrorize any more planets.
Please, you are in no position to fight me. Avenge those I've killed at a later date. You've got Dragon Balls, don't you? Farewell.
Goku reached forward, but Cell teleported away. Goku cursed, but there was nothing he could do now. Cell was out in space, laughing to himself. This power was so strong, but he knew by the time he was ready to fight Goku again, he would have shot right back above him once more. He needed to continue training. The fact that he was able to train his tail to come out in its perfect form was quite an achievement, and it only helped him to get stronger. This was the right course of action. The next thing the Heaters know, Broly was dragging them all into the galactic prison where they could spend their time from then on. Granolah and the rest said their goodbyes, with Granolah promising to help Goku any way he can, including training. Goku thanked Granolah, but told him that he wants to pay him back in only one way, coming to train with his son, Gohan, when the time came. After all, it's almost poetic that he get to train the grandson of the man that saved him. Granolah agreed, saying goodbye as if old friends. Now, back at home, Goku watches as little Gohan plays with Trunks. Goku knew that the next battle ahead would be his most important one, the battle against Lord Beerus. Vegeta had something similar in mind, as he wanted to challenge Whis. But that's for next time on Dragon Ball Super. Goku begins to talk to Vegeta, briefly talking about the battle between Granolah and Gas. Vegeta asks Goku if he actually was holding back against Gas, and Goku nods at Vegeta. The Prince of All Saiyans sighs. He should have known. Goku admits that he held back from using any destroyer energy on Gas. Vegeta retorts, saying that this isn't what he meant. Goku's confused, but Vegeta reveals that he knows Goku's holding back something else, something much more powerful than a mere Hakai. Goku laughs. He can't hide anything from the prince after all. Goku responds by saying that he noticed Vegeta was holding back against Gas as well. Vegeta nods. As they watch Trunks play with little Gohan, Goku thinks that it's almost time. He can feel it. Vegeta understands what he means. His rematch with Beerus. Goku asks Vegeta if they can train together for a little bit longer to work out some kinks he's been having with Ultra Ego and maybe help him with something else. Vegeta agrees and the two train together for several months. One day, as Goku's catching fish with his tail at Mount Pautsu, Beerus and Whis arrive. Goku greets them and asks if they're coming to join him and his family for dinner, but surprisingly, they refuse. Beerus states that he's able to feel Goku's power all the way from his planet now, and it's enough to make him tremble with excitement. Beerus can't contain himself any longer, and he needs to fight him right now. Goku smiles. He wants to fight too. However, he asks Lord Beerus to wait just a little bit longer. Beerus gives him 1 day. Goku thanks him as he teleports around Earth and even across the universe, meeting up with old friends. He approaches Krillin, 18, and Marin at their home, thanking Krillin for all his help through the years, and telling him that no matter what, they've always been best friends. He then went to Tien. The stern man looked at Goku, and without saying a word, they two clashed. They had unfinished business. The outcome of the match is unknown to everybody. However, both Tien and Goku are satisfied. He visits Raditz, and the two contemplate their life as brothers, and how much they've both changed. Goku looks at Raditz and thanks him for coming after him all those years ago, after the battles on Namek. He even visits his old masters, starting with Master Korin. Goku visited Angel Piccolo. After his help during the battle against Moro, King Yama realized that he's completely atoned for his sins. However, Piccolo refused to go to heaven. Instead, he chose to become the protector of hell, making sure that all those evil souls remained under watch. Goku clapped at Piccolo as he watched him defend Hell, and Piccolo wondered why Goku was there. Goku simply said that he was visiting, and that he was sorry they never got a proper rematch. The two shook hands, electricity emitting from it. Piccolo cocked an eyebrow, but nodded at Goku. The two had made peace. Goku arrives at Kame House. He hadn't seen Roshi since he escaped the time chamber. At first, it was because he didn't remember him, but once he did, he felt like he couldn't bear to see his old master anymore after all the pain he brought the world. Goku knocks on the door and Roshi answers. Goku doesn't know what to say, but before he says anything, Roshi immediately rushes to hug him with tears in his eyes. Goku's emotions get the better of him, apologizing for losing himself, tarnishing the name of the Turtle School, and causing so much harm to the planet and its people. Roshi tells him that he's sorry too for not finding him sooner. If he just went out looking for him, he wouldn't have had to go through so much pain. As the two calm down and eventually talk and catch up, Goku tells Roshi about his rematch against Beerus, and that he's worried about what will happen if he wins. If he becomes the next god of destruction and becomes even stronger, will he go out of control again? Roshi reassures him that he doesn't believe that will happen. Goku went through a path of darkness all on his own, yet he was able to follow the light in the end, Seeing what darkness was capable of, he knows what the consequences of that power are and how it can corrupt. To be a turtle school student is to be a master of peace and a master of war. Roshi has always known that Goku was a special boy who could make the impossible possible. As someone who has walked the path of darkness and light, he can forge a new path no one else has ever seen before. He truly believes that Goku can overcome any temptation that comes his way. If someone as good as him can fall into the depths of despair as far as he did and come out a better person, then there really is hope for the rest of us. Maybe he can make the universe a better place than he found it. Goku thanks Roshi for his advice, hugging him, promising to visit more and bring over little Gohan real soon. Roshi laughs. Of course his son's name is Gohan. Goku smiles. It couldn't have been anything else. They say goodbye as Goku teleports away. Finally, Goku returns to Mount Paozu to spend some time with his family. He tells Gohan a bedtime story about a little boy that was locked away in a room he couldn't get out of. He became really sad and scared. He thought he was all alone. When he left the room, he was angry and hurt everyone he came across, even if they wanted to help him. He didn't care about anyone else but himself anymore. But despite how much he hurt them, there was still people out there who wanted to help. It took him a long time, but these people made the boy feel as though he didn't have to be alone anymore. It took a lot of hard work, but he eventually forgave himself and learned to laugh again. As Goku finished the story, Gohan had fallen asleep. The next day, Whis was already waiting for Goku outside of his home along with Vegeta. Goku said goodbye to Chi-Chi and Gohan. He'd be back real soon. The trio arrived at Beerus' planet. Goku asks where Beerus is as Whis points at his staff. If they were to battle at full power, the entire universe would be destroyed. So, Whis prepared an arena inside of his staff. Goku and Vegeta enter the staff, where Beerus awaits. Goku bows to him as the two eye each other. Beerus tells Goku that this is the last test for his pupil. If he manages to defeat him, he will accept him as an apprentice to become the next god of destruction. Beerus asks Goku if he understands the weight of that title, and Goku simply smiles. He'll worry about the details later. Right now, he just wants to fight. Beerus has one last question. He asks Goku if he was really restraining his power when they first met. Goku admits that he did. Beerus grins. The nerve of that guy. No matter, Beerus was holding back too. The two clash, and their power shakes the entire dimension within Whis' staff. The angel has to create a barrier around himself and Vegeta so they don't get caught in the destroyer beams. The two are able to watch the fight from within the bubble. Beerus is amazed at Goku's power and skill. At this point, Goku has gotten used to the destroyer energy and wields it as if it's an extension of his own body. It was as simple as breathing. Beerus is delighted, powering up even further. Goku goes through various transformations, Super Saiyan 2, etc., before reaching Ultra Ego Super Saiyan 4. Vegeta marvels at Goku's strength, remembering how he felt the first time he saw Kakarot as a Super Saiyan on that giant planet. Back then, he felt nothing but anger at himself for not being the first one to achieve the legend, for being so grossly overpowered by a low-class Saiyan. But now, he feels nothing but pride for him. Only someone like Kakarot was fit to be his eternal rival. Goku and Beerus continue to fight. Beerus can tell that Goku still has something hidden under his sleeve. Goku relents, admitting that he has one final trump card. Goku powers up to the max as an ethereal white light and purple miasma swirls around him. The two energies seem to repel each other at first. As Goku roars, the two energies clash against one another in a swirling vortex. The entire dimension starts to crack like glass as Vegeta and Whis watch in awe. The two energies finally mix together into one as a galaxy expands outwards. The galaxy starts to shrink and condense into Goku. He's covered in black nothingness, stars and galaxies, until it cracks, breaking open and revealing a brand new form. Goku had fur similar to Super Saiyan 4, but it was a silvery color. His eyes were burning with intense conviction. Beerus demands to know what he's looking at, and Goku begins to explain. I can't keep this one up for long, but this is my attempt to combine Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct. I had to ask Vegeta for help with Ultra Instinct. I struggled a lot with it, but I was able to get the hang of it eventually. I'm still not as good as Vegeta. In fact, this is what he had originally in the tournament. I guess you call it Ultra Instinct Omen. But there's something beyond. Something that only Vegeta and I can achieve. Together. But that's for later on in this fight, isn't it, Lord Beerus? The next stage in Super Saiyan. From outside the staff, Vegeta is getting impatient. He too wants to fight, but Lord Beerus is clearly busy with whatever that new form is. Vegeta knew that Goku would snap out of that state at any second, and that from then on, they would need to fight together. But first, he looked at Whis in the eyes.
Whis, you're always so quiet, always standing behind Beerus. I've never gotten a grasp of your strength. So please, while Kakarot and Beerus are playing around, grant me one final fight.
Huh? What's this? Really, Vegeta? So this was you guys' plan all along? While Goku fights Beerus, I get to fight you. Well, it's an honor to get to fight the Prince of all Saiyans, but I promise you, I'm not gonna go easy on you.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Come on then, Angel.
Don't get cocky now. Beerus shouts out in delight. This is what he's been waiting for all along. Goku really was an interesting guy. The God of Destruction powers up to the max, and the two clash once more. Whis blocked Vegeta's attacks, one after the other, but after each hit, Vegeta transformed into the next form. Super Saiyan Punch, Super Saiyan 2 Punch, Super Saiyan God Punch, Blue. Finally, one blast transformed Vegeta into Ultra Instinct. He smirked as he finally landed a punch on Whis. Whis was very proud of his student. Perhaps he really was more advanced than it seemed. The battle intensifies as he is finally able to once again utilize Ultra Instinct as part of his own being. While in Super Saiyan Blue, Goku and Vegeta both clash fists against their respective opponents, with the staff slowly showing its cracks. Rushing side by side, Vegeta and Goku traded battles while dodging and weaving out of the way. Goku eventually falls out of Omen, just as he's about to launch a final blast at Beerus. He wasn't able to hold on to that state for too long after all. Beerus is about to punch Goku, but he gets kicked away by Ultra Instinct Vegeta. Goku looks on in shock, but Vegeta tells him to get back up. This isn't just his fight anymore, it's Vegeta's as well. Goku powers up into Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan 4, and the two Saiyans stand side by side, staring down at Whis and Beerus. The final battle is about to begin. Beerus starts to get pushed back, with Goku and Vegeta doing a combo in order to beat him. Beerus commends the pair at their absurd strength, but he refuses to give up here. Whis appears in front of Beerus, saying that it's about time he steps in. He won't stop their fight. He's in fact curious to gauge their strength as well. Beerus tells him to stay out of this. It's now a 2v2, an angel and his destroyer versus an angelic being and his destroyer. During the battle, Whis says that he's very impressed. Through trusting each other, they compensate for each other's weaknesses. Whis stops the fight in order to reinforce the barriers in his staff. Goku and Vegeta are panting, and so is Beerus. Whis is faring better, but he's taking a few rough hits himself. Goku in particular hits like a truck, and Vegeta is hard to hit. Beerus wiped some blood off his lip, and Vegeta pulled back his arm. The two punches clashed, as Whis continued to block Goku's attacks with one finger. Though Goku knew he was simply mocking him, the Saiyan wasn't showing his full strength. In fact, he never had. So it caught Whis by surprise when he suddenly powered up and punched him square in the face. Goku and Vegeta opened their auras, pushing Whis and Beerus back. The Angel and the God of Destruction began to power up their ki, ready to fire an attack. Vegeta did the same, but Goku stepped in the way, saying, Wait, I have something. It's clear that this battle has reached its apex. I think it's time to step it up a notch. From his pocket, Goku takes out 2 sets of Potara earrings.
What the hell is that, Kakarot?
You said it yourself, Vegeta. Now that I have regained everyone's trust, I need to show that trust back. These earrings are used to fuse 2 warriors together.
Are you crazy? Where the hell did you even get those from?
Goku begins to explain as we flash back. The day before battling, Goku had approached 2 other allies, the most important ones he's had. First, Majin Buu. The pink monster had become a great friend to Goku, and he wouldn't have gotten nearly as far as he did without him. Goku and Buu reminisce on the past, and Buu told Goku that there was one more person that wanted to meet him as well. Buu switched places with the Grand Kai. The Grand Kai told Goku that he felt as if he was also his student as well. After all, they spent a lot of time together within the time chamber before Goku discovered Super Saiyan 4. The Grand Kai explained that he had one more test for Goku. He knows he's going to face Beerus and Whis, but that there was one more ally that he was going to be fighting with or against. That man was Vegeta. Depending on how the battle went, they could be each other's greatest allies or their worst enemies. So, he took off his Potara earrings and handing them to Goku, telling him that his last lesson to him is trusting Vegeta to the point where they're fighting as one. Goku was confused on what that meant, but he knew it had something to do with the Potara. The Grand Kai acknowledged this, and said that these two earrings will make their rivalry the strongest being in the entire universe. But that, if he wants it to be a fair fight, maybe he should find another pair for Whis and Beerus. Goku thanked the Grand Kai, and went on his way home. There, he had one training session with Zamasu. Zamasu slowly approached the Saiyan. After a long sparring session, Zamasu said that he was very thankful to Goku. It was thanks to him that he was reappointed as a Kaioshin in training. He had changed, and he now realized that mortals were not his enemy, but in fact, people he needed to protect and work alongside of. Goku said that he didn't need a thank you. He was just happy that Zamasu had finally seen the light. It took Goku himself a long time to realize this, that other people were not his enemies nor things that got in the way, but rather people to protect and work together with. For a brighter future, Zamasu smiled. And that's when Goku snapped his fingers, realizing that he did have something that he needed from him. Goku asked for his Potara. Zamasu asked why, and Goku explained everything. Zamasu was in disbelief that Goku was stupid enough to challenge the god of destruction, and especially his angel. But then again, Goku was full of surprises. That damn mortal couldn't help but reach the realm of the gods, could he? It was Zamasu's honor to help him reach that. Zamasu handed him his Potara, a sign that a god and a mortal could become the best of friends, a sign that the two beings were not that different after all. The Saiyans look at the earrings in the present. These were the same things those Universe 6 Saiyans wore to fuse into Kefla. Goku looks at Vegeta and he smiles. He couldn't imagine a better partner to fuse with. At the same time, Whis asks Beerus if he trusts him. Beerus pauses and nods. Of course. As Goku and Vegeta put on their earrings, Goku throws the other pair to Whis. Whis catches them, and without saying anything to Beerus, places the Potara on his ear. Beerus tries to complain, but it's too late. Two blinding lights engulf the entire dimension within the staff. The staff itself begins to shine so brightly that it shoots out of Beerus' planet, startling the Oracle Fish. The fish smiles. The real battle was about to begin, the one he had seen long ago. Vegito and Wierus are born. The pair fight. Vegito switches between Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego during the battle. To Vegito, it is almost like taking a trip down memory lane. Goku was so distrustful. Of course, their most important battle would be one where he becomes one with his most fearsome rival, a man who eventually became his greatest friend. Their battle caused Whis' staff to crack. Reality starts to shift and shatter through the universe. Space and time distorts. The effects are even felt in neighboring universes. Vegito moves out of the way of Wierus' tail, but Wierus is far too fast. Vegito bites down as the tail is about to strike him. Wierus screams as Vegito jumps back, charging up his ki. It was time to try what Goku was trying to do, a perfect fusion between Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct. Goku may have failed at this, but with Vegeta's support, there is no way it won't work. Check this out, Ultra Ego and Instinct. Call this Super Saiyan 5. Vegito's eyes sparkle as his aura erupted into starlight. His hair turned silver and purple, his fur glimmering in an aura. To the normal eye, it was impossible to tell if it was purple or silver. You really don't know how screwed you are you? You'll have a hard time trying to hit me, and even if you manage to do so, it'll only make things worse for you, as my battle instincts kick in. Wierus smiled, acknowledging Vegito's ability to reach further beyond. Perhaps he had finally caught up to him. Vegito and Wierus get into their battle stances, taking a deep breath before rushing into each other, clashing fists. Suddenly, everything goes dark. Not long after Goku defeated King Piccolo, he found himself at Kami's lookout, being sent up there by Master Korin. There, he met Mr. Popo, who trained him and got attached to him in preparation to Kami's own training. However, unlike the original story, this Kami is more paranoid. As he sees Goku's immense power, and he continues to get stronger and stronger, he sees that there's some darkness within Goku. We zoom out of Kami's mind. He just had a vision. The boy he had been training for the past few years, he just saw him destroy an entire reality with one punch. Yes, he must be trapped. He can't allow that to happen. Crack! Glass breaks over Kami's face as Vegito screams and shatters it even further. The battle continues. Punch after punch, there is breaking down of dimensions. Strange creatures, different realities, all fly past Vegito and Wierus. Two beings stronger than anything else out there. Vegito cups his hands together while Wierus points his fingers out. The two beams clash into a galaxy-like shape, which is in actuality their power creating another dimension. The flash of light dissipates only to reveal emptiness. Nothing. Vegito and Wierus were floating, surrounded by a black void. Where were they? When were they? It didn't matter. Outside of time and space, in an empty reality of nothingness, the two beings only cared about their fight. If anything, this place was the perfect opportunity to stop holding back, to stop worrying about Earth, the galaxy, the universe, to stop worrying about everything, just to focus on the battle. Both warriors began to power up, with their auras emerging into a monstrous size, slowly creating an entirely new dimension just with their power alone. Unknowingly, warriors across time and space were fighting in this void of existence, unaware that their fighting grounds was the combined aura Vegito and Wierus. These last two began to fight again, flying off millions of kilometers away in mere seconds in their clash. Vegito rushed at Wierus instantly, but the angel saw it coming and dodged the attack. Vegito teleported above Wierus, but once again, Wierus blocked it. What he didn't expect was Vegito using Ultra Instinct to move his fist around the block to punch the god straight in the face. Now that was an impressive way to use that technique. The battle went on for a while, even breaking into our own reality, as Vegito looked directly at the screen and said, "Wait, what?"
So this is where I'm at, huh? All my adventures and many others? You've been watching me for a long time, so how about you help out? That's right, viewer. This multi-dimensional battle involves you too. Come on then, share your energy with me. Type it in the comments below. Raise your hands up to the sky. It's time for my ultimate technique. Great! I can feel the energy pouring in. Thank you, everyone! That's impossible. How can you get so much energy from the space between realities? What I've learned from so many years of trying to push others away is that I'm never alone. Even when there seems to be nothing around, I have people supporting me. Beings out there with their own potential that want to see the likes of Goku, Vegeta, and the others succeed in hundreds of adventures. There's always someone to share their energy with me. This is the final spirit, Kamehameha!
Vegito fired the ginormous blast, which sparkled in colors we can't even see, creating multiple realities along the way. Wierus quickly rose his hands up to the sky and fired back his own energy sphere. The two attacks clashed, with neither giving up too much ground, but both sides began to take steps forward as the two blasts began to crush against one another, until finally exploding into a true Big Bang, giving new life all around, and leaving behind a giant spiral, a double helix between the fallen Wierus and Vegito, made up of pure Genki. Whoever stood up first and declared himself as the winner would be the champion. From within Vegito's memory, he could recall being in a similar situation as Goku long ago. He remembered the smile on the young boy's face, a smile which had only recently returned. Wierus began to stand first, then Vegito. They had barely any power left, but Vegito stumbled, taking a knee.
Don't you see? You can't reach me yet.
Wierus fell back down to the ground, hungry and tired. Vegito knew he had to do it. Just one more step, and he will prove himself that he was worthy. Vegito's eyes sparkled as he jumped up to the sky and screamed out,
"Alright! I'm the winner!"
His aura sparked up once more in a rainbow as Beerus' planet appeared around them once more, and the two fusions defused. Vegeta and Goku fist bumped. It was finally over. Beerus on the ground turned his head to Whis, tears on his eyes.
They've done it, huh?
It sure seems that way, Lord Beerus. But don't be sad. This is just the next step in your grand adventure.
These aren't sad tears, Whis. I am proud.
Whis floats over to Goku and Vegeta, healing them along with Lord Beerus. He comments on how that was an awesome match, but that he was taking a huge gamble in fighting. See, angels aren't allowed to fight. They will literally disappear, but he just couldn't help himself. The excitement he saw in his students' eyes made him really want to battle them. It was worth it, even if he disappeared right now. But he hadn't. He wondered why exactly he was still around. That's when a bright light appeared behind them, as the king of the multiverse, Lord Zeno, appeared, along with his entourage and the Grand Priest, congratulating them on an amazing battle. Though they disappeared there for a while, he wondered where they went. Zeno excitedly asked them to fight one more time, but Goku and Vegeta were beat. They said that maybe in a couple more years. Zeno was a little disappointed, but allowed it. He wondered if maybe someday he'd be able to fight against Goku and Vegeta himself. And so, a few years passed. 10 years later. We find ourselves on Earth, at Grandpa Gohan's house. A young Son Gohan sits there, meditating. He had been training all of his life under his father and mother's tutelage, but this was a test he couldn't exactly study for. From space, a twinkle rushed down and crashed in front of Gohan, who was unbothered. As he opened his eyes slowly, before him stood a giant bug-like creature.
I sense a powerful presence here, but you're not Son Goku. I am looking for him. Our final battle is at hand.
My dad's a little busy right now, but he sent me here to stop you, Cell.
Huh, I doubt you could take me on, brat. I've been training for many years to take him and this planet down.
I know. That's why I'm here. Gohan's aura sparked up in a silver flare, his hair spiking up in a similar color, and his eyes reddened. Gohan knew this would be over in a flash. We then cut away to Kami's lookout. Goku, just like his son, meditates quietly, but there is something calling him down. He can hear the years of battle as he stands up and turns his head. There, he can see it. He can see the door. Goku begins to take steps towards it, his hand inching towards the handle. He can enter the time chamber one last time.
Dad, come on! Whis is here, we gotta go! Vegeta is waiting for us!
Goku clenches his fist. His hand never reaches the handle. He didn't need the time chamber anymore. Son Goku was at peace. He smiled and turned back as we finally see him in full. Alright, I'm coming, Goten. Tell Chi-Chi to wait. As he runs to his family, we appreciate the full God of Destruction regalia. Goku finally reached Whis, and the two smiled at each other and teleported to Son Goku's planet. Goku and his friends have had glorious adventures, but I'm afraid this is all we can show you. There'll surely be more trouble along the way, but somehow they'll always get through, and the Dragon Balls will be there for them. The end.